Helping Seniors Television, all about improving quality of life for seniors. If you're a senior, know a senior, or plan to be a senior, then this show is for you. It's all about helping you develop your own aging plan so you can age actively and with dignity. Helping Seniors Television from the Helping Seniors Network of information, education, and resources. Welcome to today's edition of Helping Seniors Television from the Helping Seniors Network. Whether you are caring for a senior, are a senior, or just plan to be one, we hope you'll enjoy today's program. On today's edition of Helping Seniors TV, listen as program host Kerry, Fink, and Jennifer Helin, owner of Seniors Helping Seniors Brevard, talk about in-home caregiving. Learn how this important element of care is a great step in building your aging plan and how in-home care can help keep you home longer and more safely.
I'm Kerry Fink, sitting in for Joe Steckler, and welcome to Helping Seniors Television. This is a program that helps you develop your own aging plan. And today I'm so pleased to have in the studio with us Jennifer Helin, who is the owner of Seniors Helping Seniors. And what we're going to be talking about is in-home caregiving. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
We were joking before the show. Now let me see if I can say this right. This show could actually be about how Seniors Helping Seniors of Brevard is helping seniors of Brevard getting the information out to seniors to help them with their aging care plans. Did I say that in a way that makes sense?
Almost.
Okay, well, close enough. So, you know, here's a question. For most people, they don't really understand if they're new to it, what is exactly meant by home caregiving? What does that encompass?
Well, in-home caregiving can be a family member providing care in the home for a loved one, but also can be hired help. It can be someone outside of the home, and that's what we do is we hire seniors actually to come out and help someone in the home or wherever that senior calls home. So for us, 90% of it is in the senior's home. You know, they want to age in place. They want to stay at home where they've been for years. They feel comfortable there. But occasionally we are in an assisted living facility or an independent living facility. That's where they call home, so that's where we go in and help.
So you can go literally to wherever the senior is and then provide help for them in that environment, wherever that would be.
Right, wherever they call home.
Now, when do people get to the place where they decide to make a decision? Like, I guess it's the kind of thing you say, well, I would do this myself, but I'm not sure I have the time because of my career or something else. Or what kind of situations prompt that call in where you say, you know, here's where we could fit in and be part of helping?
So typically people, unfortunately, wait too long to get the help that they need at home. And you and I had been talking a little bit earlier. It is helpful to get help in the home a little earlier because usually that prevents things from escalating and then needing more care as time goes on. So hopefully if we address some problems early on, they don't become larger issues.
Well, I know Joe uses this term that he talks about throughout radio shows, television shows, and in the articles he writes. He calls it elements of care, which I interpret to be like finding the appropriate solution for a particular situation that may change over time. It may start at one level and continue. I was just going to ask you, how do you interpret elements of care, or how would you explain that to somebody who says, how does that fit into my aging plan?
So there are different elements of care, different levels of care. Seniors helping seniors, I almost did it. Seniors helping seniors, we are the first level, we're the first kind of rung on that ladder of the continuum of care. And so we kind of specialize in people who are just realizing, I need a little help. What do I do? How do I do this? How do I navigate? And so we are very good about sitting down with people, assessing their needs and determining what level they're at. So we are a homemaker companion. We provide lots of different services, transportation, like housekeeping, meal preparation, that helps the senior stay at home where they want to be. We don't do any of the personal care or the medical. So when someone needs a little extra help, say some hands-on in the shower, getting dressed, things of that nature, that's the next level up. Medical, somebody who needs some help with their shots if they're diabetic, help with medications, administering those medications. Those things, as you go higher and higher up that ladder of care, of course, there needs to be more skills, and the skills come at an additional cost, of course.
Right. And I assume that's something with your expertise, because you guys have been in business for quite a while here in Brevard County and have served a lot of seniors over the years. But you also must now have a good network, so you're also, because you're in there, you know when it's time to advise, like, okay, maybe here's a moment that you might want to consider going to another level. Is that a fair way to say that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We know what we're very good at, but we know when we have hit our limit and when some additional help is needed. And that might be in partnering with us. We've got lots of companies we really trust and feel very comfortable with, and that may be transitioning eventually from us to another in-home care company. Sometimes our clients are really best served in an assisted living facility. So we will make that recommendation based on that person's individualized information. We'll make that recommendation to them.
Yeah, so I think you've kind of covered this, but a question that I'd written down for the show was, so what is Seniors Helping Seniors licensed to do, if that's the right way to put it? In other words, what are the services that you could effectively provide to a senior who's living at home in an assisted living and so on and so forth?
So that's a really good question. And we are licensed. All healthcare, home care facilities are licensed by the Agency for Healthcare Administration. So you, of course, want to do business with someone who has a license in the state of Florida. Our license is considered homemaker companion. So we can pretty much do anything that's not hands-on. So it is a pretty broad definition of what we are allowed to do. The meal preparation, organization, light housekeeping, driving people to and from doctor's appointments, grocery store, getting them out, companionship, lots of different things. But when it comes to hands-on, that's where we have to draw the line, and that's that next license up.
So that goes back to that elements of care thing. So you represent that first rung that gets somebody started used to having somebody get used to having help in the home. That's probably a good first step to help ensure their safety as they're aging, but also to provide that first, as Joe would say, element of care in it.
Right. Right.
So let me ask this, there must be a lot of different agencies who say, well, we can help with this, and maybe they're even who say, well, we specialize in home care. What would you say is a unique, distinct difference that makes Seniors Helping Seniors of Brevard such a good fit with seniors?
We only hire seniors. The people that we hire really make the difference. They are amazing people. Typically, they are people who have retired, fooled around for a couple of years, and they want to do something that they feel really good about. It gives them a little extra fun money or helps supplement their Social Security. So it's really beneficial for them in addition to beneficial for our clients. So our clients are having someone come in the house that's a little closer in age. They speak the same language. We really do try to match them, so maybe they're from the same area to begin with. They're from Ohio or New York or Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
They have the same interests or hobbies. Maybe they go to the same church. Something that gives them at least a start off on the right foot so that they're getting care from someone who is very compatible and also very compassionate. They're not there because they have to be there. They're there because they want to be there. So typically they're there 5 or 10 minutes beforehand and 5 or 10 minutes after. It's a complete difference in the way that that care is given, and it makes a big difference.
I would imagine, this is just a guess, but it would seem to me that when you're putting somebody who is more contemporary with the senior that they would be helping, there's probably a greater opportunity for there to be a good camaraderie because everybody sort of grew up with the same thoughts or the same direction. Do you find that that's helpful in making maybe a senior who's like, I don't know if I want somebody in my home? Does that help that whole process?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we learned that lesson years ago with great-grandma Maxine. We as the kids couldn't tell her anything, but her bingo friends, we would say the same thing, but if a bingo friend said it, It was golden. So we learned the lesson that, you know, someone a little closer in age can get away with a whole lot more than the kids can. And we saw the wisdom in it, and it works.
So the way you describe it, that you're conscientiously setting out to match the person who would want the help at home with somebody who would be compatible with them, that must be a really complex process for you to be able to get that chemistry to work just the right way.
It can be a challenge, but it's amazing how things work out. We had a customer whose mom speaks Swedish.
Oh, wow.
And we thought, wow, that's going to be a little interesting. We had a new hire that same week, come in, wow. Already background checked, already ready to go. She was great. She's coming from another state here to Florida, but already has all the qualifications. She just happens to speak Swedish. So we said, thank you. And they get along fabulously well. So it's amazing how it works out. There are times when we've made matches. I knew one of our ladies was a nurse up in Ohio, and so I put her with a nurse down here. Mm-hmm. Well, it turns out she's originally from Ohio. They worked at the same hospital. They knew the same doctors. Wow. So I would love to claim credit that I knew that, but it just worked out really, really well.
Well, it seems like when you describe it that way, that's such a valuable part of this, because when you take the time, it's not like having maybe a stranger the first time they walk in, but it sure sounds like you do everything you can to ensure the fit of the person with the senior so that it's going to be beneficial in ways that transcend just beyond, okay, I'm driving you to the doctor or whatever.
Exactly, because we might be there to do that transportation, but there's also a lot of companionship that is involved, and that's really important. That social piece is very important.
Now, I know from some of the past radio and television shows that you've done with Joe, that one of the things is that you're very, very affordable, because it works in a range that you have like very limited minimums and things like that, so people can kind of match this to their particular situation. Can you explain, like, if somebody calls and says, listen, mom is getting a little bit old, I can't take all the time off from work that I would like, I've got to do something because she's got these medical appointments, there's some things around the house. How do you approach a caller who calls in and starts asking those kind of questions to sort of assess how you're going to put the right elements of care in place for that?
So our minimum is 2 hours, and that could be once a day, once a week, once a month. So we are very flexible with that, because that's what we needed within our own family at first. So we wanted to make sure that was being provided, and I've gotten in trouble business-wise through my mentors running a business, that we shouldn't do that. We should always just do scheduled, and I've had to make the business decision that no, we want to be able to provide the as-needed services, because people need that. That's really what a senior needs, and the family is there all the time, but they want to go on vacation.
Sure.
And they don't want to leave mom or dad all by themselves for a whole week. Right. So we can come in just while they're gone, maybe a daily check-in for 2 hours, just to make sure they've had a good hot meal at lunchtime, sandwich plates in the fridge for the evening, just to check in so they know everything is good while they're gone. They've got peace of mind while they're out, and the senior's got someone visiting, you know, while they're gone. So we really pride ourselves in being very flexible, so we're meeting the needs of the senior and their families.
Well, I know you're involved in so many good senior organizations and helping really advocate for seniors, not only through your role. I know you're on the board with helping seniors at Brevard, but I've seen you be involved with the Triad and all these different things. So you're really aware of the things that seniors are needing. But one of the things, I know you know this, that it's often been said, for example, a caregiver, often the person that they're caregiving for outlasts the person, their caregiver, because it can be so stressful for the caregiver. I imagine one of the things that is probably very beneficial is that when you describe being able to give somebody that respite, that opportunity to go away from town and not be worried about mom or dad or whatever like that. That has to be a big thing.
It really is. It really is. In fact, as I was getting ready to come in today for this show, I got a call from Ricky. She's out doing an assessment. The intention was to go in, we're doing handyman services for this person, but when she got in there and she sat down and did the assessment, there's a whole lot more to the story there.
Sure.
The wife's the primary caregiver, and she needs help.
Wow.
She needs to care for herself so that she can care for her loved one. And the whole viewpoint has now changed. And whether it's us or someone else, you know, Ricky was calling me, I need this, 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 and this
Sure.
resources to give to this woman so that she would have them going forward. So it's so important for that family caregiver to have support, have resources, have a team on their side. They take care of themselves so that they can take care of that loved one, because you're right. A lot of times they end up not going to their doctor's appointments, not going out, not having any social, emotional, spiritual time to themselves, and they pass away. And then there isn't anyone to take care of their loved one. Exactly. Then it's a huge issue, or they go into the hospital and then, oh my gosh, who stays with? So we really encourage people to get help early.
You know, it's funny, when you were telling that story, I've heard Joe explain so many times that the role of the information specialist, which is what we call the person who answers the Helping Seniors helpline, they typically will call us. It's a free call, and Helping Seniors over the years has helped more than 2,200 families throughout Brevard County free of charge. That's the charity service of Helping Seniors of Brevard, and that's what we do. Is people call us with all kinds of questions. It can be housing, it can be transportation, it could be medical, it could be legal, it could be financial, all those issues, and we try to connect them to some resource that's going to help them further. But one of the things that I've heard over and over is that the call usually starts with one particular question, but in that discovery phase where you're talking about the things that brought that caller to make the call, you discover there's a lot of other issues, and they actually feel very good about the fact that they've been able to actually kind of zoom the camera out and look at the whole situation. It sounds very much like that's what you guys do when you first meet with a family.
It is, and that's why I love Helping Seniors of Brevard County, because I know they're going to get the resources that they need, and it's not going to just be a pinpoint view of the situation.
Yeah. So let me ask this question, because people think, well, this might be an expense. You know, maybe it's not in the budget, or I don't know how we're going to pay for this. First of all, it sounds like it's very affordable because you can match it very, very closely to the exact needs. So if you need just a little, you can take just a little. If you need more, it's available. But as I understand it, one of the things is that it would be significantly less expensive than going to higher levels of services if they're not needed, like an assisted living or something like that. How do you look at a family and talk to them in those terms?
So, you know, we have that 2-hour minimum, and typically a daily check-in we can do for around $1,000 a month.
Wow.
Where an assisted living facility is going to start around $3,500.
And this is, you're talking about a daily check-in?
Yeah, just a 2-hour daily check-in.
So like all through the week?
Right.
Wow.
Right. So it is, when you look at it in those terms, it is much more affordable.
Yes.
You know, and you have to look at where is that person physically, socially, emotionally, what is the best place for them to be, and then make decisions from there. But again, most seniors want to be at home where they feel comfortable, and so we'll go in and do that assessment and bring in the resources to help them stay at home. Grab bars, ramps, whatever else they need to stay at home. Prepackaged medications, things like Aquaviva, where they put the medications already prepackaged. Monday through Friday, you know exactly what you're taking when you're taking it. Sometimes automated pill boxes. There are so many things out there that will help seniors stay at home safely, and people a lot of times don't even know that those things are out there. So having someone come in, at least sit down and talk about what's available, is a great thing. And again, it could be maybe they don't really need the services yet, but I'd much rather have them call early.
Yes.
Have a plan so that they can be prepared.
Well, I was just going to say, isn't that really the value? I often have said to Joe, it seems to me like one of the challenges with aging is it is on-the-job training. You know, you don't know, and I think the average family, whether it's the adult child of a parent who's aging, or perhaps it's the spouse of a loved one who is going through some changes, we don't really know because we don't have the experience. But when you call somebody like Seniors Helping Seniors, and you guys come in and sit down. You have such a background of seeing so many people in all different scenarios that it's probably very helpful to the person that you're talking to, because you can assess and say, listen, did you know this is available? Did you know that's available? Here's how we might work with that.
I even have to try to be careful, because I think sometimes I'll overwhelm them with too much information. So I try to, hold back my zeal a little bit. But it's true. But there's so much out there that people don't know, and people don't want to sometimes know, because none of us want to admit that we're getting older or maybe have to stop driving. Right. So it's difficult to kind of get people to start thinking about those things and thinking about it early. But it is really important to do.
And like you said, this is a great first place to begin. Now, is it expensive to have you guys come out and have a talk just to assess and sort of?
We don't charge for the assessment.
So that's at no charge. So somebody could call Seniors Helping Seniors of Brevard and say, listen, I'm not sure where we are in this, but I would love to have you guys come out, talk with me and Mom, and let's just see where we're at. So that's something that they can do?
Absolutely, absolutely. Way back when, I had a beautiful lady up in Vieira call and say, I don't want you, but I know I'm going to need you.
Wow.
And so we sat down and we talked about everything. She was a widower. She really had no family in the area at all. The first year, we drove her to one medical appointment that she wasn't allowed to drive in. Second year, maybe the same thing. Third year, we did a couple more things. Fourth, we actually worked with her. The gentleman that did all her transportations for her worked closely with her, and she's in an assisted living facility now. But we were able to, over the last 7 years, go from just one transportation the entire year to, working with her to now, she's where she needs to be. She's in a really great place right now.
Right. And that also has to do with that relationship. It may start on that. That seems like a real advantage, is the fact that you have such an easy way for people to get started. It's not going to cost them anything to give you a call and have that first discussion. Even if the services needed are extremely limited, the way you're structured, there's not really like contracts or things. You can just more or less call and organize and do. Is that how it works?
We have an agreement, and the agreement basically says they'll pay for the services that they use. Wow. Other than that, we really try to be flexible so that we're meeting the need.
Well, so let me ask this question then. I was thinking back to this question you were talking about in your own family, where it was difficult for the child or the kids to speak to the aunt, but somebody who was in her club, they would be able to make that. Can you think of some cases where you personally are pleased that Seniors Helping Seniors really has made a difference? Like just an example.
Oh my goodness.
There must be many, but
there really are, and it does. It makes you feel so good when I can't tell you how many times that I have and Ricky has gone out to do an assessment, and as we're walking out, the daughter will hug you and say, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here. I feel so much better now." That makes our day totally worth it.
Well, it has to be such a sense of relief, because it goes back to that thing we were speaking about with caregivers, the stress that you feel when you're confronting the unknown and you don't have any idea which way to even steer the boat. And I think that's one of the things that seems to me like puts you, with your experience and your expertise, and also the ability to match the person that needs the help with a person that understands the help that is needed on that level. It really seems like it offers so many advantages. But I wanted to ask you too, and it seems like also maybe another advantage is if you could zoom the camera out, it probably reduces the cost of care for that person, because they're not getting more care than is actually required at that particular point in time.
Right, exactly. And we're also hopefully preventing things from happening. When we're in the home, we are looking at, boy, there should be some grab bars here, or maybe we're noticing that things are off. We have a 100-year-old customer. She'll be 101 this year, and the people that are with her every day know her very well. So if something's slightly off, we've got her to the doctor. We are making sure that she's being very well cared for. So hopefully accidents happen, but hopefully we're preventing falls.
Yeah.
A fall isn't going to happen, and God forbid one does. We're there, we're quick, and we're getting them the care that they need. So hopefully we're preventing a lot of things that unfortunately seniors, when they're home alone, don't hydrate.
Right.
They don't eat, maybe they're not taking their medications like they should, and that's where accidents happen. And if we can come in and make sure that they've had a good meal, they're hydrating, they've got enough protein, they're eating a proper diet for their diagnosis, whether that's diabetes or something else, we can really usually keep people healthier for a lot longer.
Well, it seems so valuable when you discuss that for probably $1,000 a month, somebody can have somebody in the home daily for a couple hours, and it would seem like it would have so many benefits. They would be making sure that there's nutrition going on. It would seem like they're able to ensure that when you describe the way the pills are set up, they can go, oh, I see that you haven't taken your pills this morning, or provide those reminders. Make sure things are safe at home, because as we know, a lot of times falls and trips and things like that, but just because you guys have the eyes and the ability to see what's happening day by day, it also probably helps you monitor when the situation changes a little bit too. Exactly,
if we notice a change.
Yeah. Well, we have just a moment left, but I wanted to thank you for coming and talking a little bit about seniors helping seniors of Brevard, and we appreciate all you do to helping seniors of Brevard. So if somebody was going to give you a call, how would they get in touch, or what's the best way to reach you about this?
So call us at 321-722-2999.
One more time.
321-722-2999.
That sounds great. And it really seems like Seniors Helping Seniors is a great first call. It's not going to cost you anything. It's going to be a way for you to get some idea of what's going on and listen to the recommendations, and then that will help you as you determine the elements of care that will help you age in place as a place to start. Right. So thank you, Jennifer, for being with us today, and thank you, viewer, for joining us on Helping Seniors TV.
I'm Joe Steckler. Thank you for joining our program today. I'd like to remind you that our senior information line is available to you at 321-473-7770. There you can get help and direction that could be helpful for your specific situation or circumstances. The work of helping seniors is very important, but we can't do it alone. That is why our sponsors here in Brevard County are so important. I'd like to thank our many area sponsors, businesses and medical providers who support the mission of helping seniors that help us carry the cost of our media efforts. If you'd like to join us either as a business partner or simply donate as an individual, we would welcome your call at 321-473-7770. You are always welcome to visit our website at www.helpingseniorsofbrevard.org. Thanks so much for your help. It does make a difference.